I could never understand why someone would choose to stay in their hometown for college, especially my hometown. Year after year, I would see people choose to remain in the area, and year after year, I would wonder why they possibly would want to stay in Lancaster County. To me, there was no future at home. I could not wait to leave. This is Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, nicknamed E-Town by residents. My family moved here when I was around 6 months old, and I did not leave until college. I spent all my years in the school system. Almost every connection I have made pre-college has been defined by this town. Despite the fact that I spent my entire life in E-Town, I've never quite felt hometown pride. In fact, as I grew older, my attitude toward E-Town ranged from boredom to shame. There is not a lot to do in E-Town. Most of my outings involved small-town activities such as driving 30 minutes to go to a shopping center or cruising through back roads with my friends. We frequently complained about this, all of us desperate to move up in the world, to live somewhere where things actually happened. But the worst part of living in E-Town is not the boredom. It's not the farm smell or the fact that the closest Target is 20 miles away. It's the intolerance and conservatism that shapes the schools, community, and people. Elizabethtown is the epitome of a small rural town. In much of the early and mid-20th century, Elizabethtown was unofficially considered a sundown town. In the 1990s, E-Town garnered national media attention due to the school board's pro-family resolution that excluded non-traditional families and ideas of evolution from schools in the district. Unfortunately, I can't say that this history is behind us as a town. In recent years, the school board has stirred up controversy once again. Around my sophomore year, a man attended a school board meeting, claiming his middle school daughter checked out a book with lewd material, which he proceeded to read in front of the entire school board and audience. In reality, this man did not have a daughter in the school district at all, but the damage had been done. The school board was set on a path of book banning and worse. See, in 2021, a married couple was elected to the school board, Danielle and Stephen Lindemuth. Over the past several years, the Lindemuths have burned masks, posted racist remarks on social media, and even organized and attended a bus trip to the insurrection on January 6th. They are a driving force on the school board and stand fully behind book banning and LGBTQ resolutions. Most recently, they led the charge in hiring the Independence Law Center, a deeply homophobic and transphobic organization intended to protect religious freedoms. Perhaps the worst part is that these are familiar names for me. I went to elementary, middle, and high school with their daughter. She was always a nice girl, and I would never expect her to be raised by such hateful people. However, this is just the reality of living in a place like E-Town. Often, I would discover the hidden hatred of someone I had known for years, people who had always been kind to me, people who I'd never expect racism and homophobia from. It has left me with this uneasy feeling. If I looked or presented differently than I do, would they still have been kind? What would they say if they knew I was gay? For all of these reasons, I was more than eager to finally go to college, to live in a place that wasn't full of people I so vehemently disagreed with. When the time came, I eagerly sent in my applications, many out of state and all at least 2 hours away. I was ready to say goodbye to my small town. As I trudged through my senior year of high school, full of school board drama and disappointment in my peers, all I could think about was finally leaving. Sure, I would miss my friends and family, but once I escaped E-Town, there would be nothing to stop me from reaching my potential. I stood by this mentality through summer, so ready to leave. So when the time came, why was it so hard to actually go? I never understood why people chose to stay in E-Town until I was on my way to Virginia. Now that I am away from home for the first time, I miss it deeply. I figured that I would miss my friends and family, but I didn't anticipate the longing I would feel for E-Town itself, for something that I know. I have my problems, but I have to admit that it was comfortable. When I go home, I don't have to pull up Google Maps or think too hard about anything. I'm never far from a familiar face. I have my routines, which I can fall back into almost seamlessly. As much as I would love to write off E-Town as a bad place with mostly bad people, I cannot. Almost everyone I know and love I met there, and I find myself missing things that I've never thought twice about before. Though I think and hope that most of my time in Elizabethtown has passed, I can't shake it the way I've always wanted to. I figured that once I made it into college, I would never look back. I could tell everyone that I escaped a small town in rural Pennsylvania and that the whole experience was bad. I could talk about all the bigotry I witnessed in such a conservative town, but that wouldn't be completely honest. Elizabethtown gave me many great things: relationships, comfort, community, and my childhood. I don't want to live in E-Town forever, but that doesn't mean it can't mean something to me.